Yesterday I just turned 31. And my life still kind of sucks. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'll just give you all a refreshing update on I'll give you all a refresher on how things are going for me. I'm 31 years old. I still live with my mum and my younger brother. Technically, we're homeless because we're about to move into a house, except the house is having some important building works being done to it, and until those building works have finished, they've been completed, we can't move in there. So I'm staying at my grandmother's house. I've been unemployed for several months. I'm about to start my new career as a building surveyor, but that'll be months in the future. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I feel kind of wavy and non-committal about what sort of career I want to have. Really, at this point, I just want a career that will earn me enough money so that I can become financially independent. I haven't been in a relationship in 5 years, and I'm beginning to think maybe relationships just aren't for me. I don't know if I'll marry or have children, and half the time I'm not even sure I want to. I feel like there's a deep sense of emptiness and purposelessness in my life. A lot of the time, I'm being forced to justify my own existence here, and when I can't find the answer, my mind immediately reverts to mindless distractions like watching random internet videos, watching TV, playing video games, because that's easier than trying to grapple with life's big questions. I think one of the biggest problems is, and this isn't just with me though, but it's with people of my age block, of my generation. In the past, there was a cataclysmic world event. Hold on. In the past, there would be an event that would unite people in a common shared purpose. Like, for instance, 100 years ago, over 100 years ago, there was the Great War, and all the young men signed up for it and died by the thousands, but that's not important. What was important is that they all knew that they had something to fight and die for, but I feel like us young men in the 21st century, we don't really have that. It's not really clear what society wants from us. It's not clear what women want from us. And I think the most painful aspect of being a young man in the 21st century is it's the feeling, it's the overall sense of superfluousness. It's the idea that you could pass away, and the very next day the world would carry on as if you were never there. I don't know if it's all young men who feel like this, but a lot of the time I certainly feel that way as well. I say young men, but to be honest, I feel like I'm running out of room to call myself a young man. Yeah, I know, I'm only 31, right? But I have this awful feeling, I have this persistent, recurring nightmare that I'm going to wake up and be 60, and I won't have changed. I'll still be the same person that I am now. And to be honest with you, I can't imagine a future that's more grim than that. The one thing I'll say that feels more grim and harrowing than dying young is waking up as an old man without having anything to show for it, without having changed at all, without having developed any skills or developed any nuanced views on human nature or life. Because one thing I will say is, I don't feel like I've changed that much since 10 years ago when I was in my early 20s. Speaking of change, though, it could just be my imagination, but I feel like the signs of aging might actually already be beginning to show. And I say this, you might laugh at this, you might be rolling your eyes thinking, God, what are you on about? You're still young, whatever. Well, last night, I went to Weatherspoons with my cousin and my younger brother, and I had, most people would consider it a huge meal. It wasn't that much for me, though. All I ordered was a bowl of nachos and a large burger. I think it was called the Empire State Burger. And 2 pints of Guinness. And I couldn't finish it. And to put this into context, I've always had a huge appetite. Growing up, I would always eat everything on my dinner plate. Everything on my lunch plate. I would always ravenously consume lots of meat. And I would drink my own weight. But last night, I got so stuffed, I got so full that I couldn't even finish my dinner. And that is just out of character for me. You know, my cousin, he couldn't help but remark on it. He put his hand up to my forehead and asked, Ben, are you okay? And, well, I'm not really... Hey, if I'm going to lose my appetite as I get older, then maybe that's not such a bad thing. Because, truth be told, eating a little less can't really hurt. I mean, as long as physically I'm not becoming more and more frail, and that probably won't happen for another few decades or so. But if I need to make a change in my diet, and this is my body's way of telling me that, well, I guess you can't be young forever. But that's not the point when I say that I feel like, that's not what I'm getting at when I say I haven't changed as a young man. I haven't changed now that I've reached my early 30s, and it's not given, it's not certain that I will have changed. I hope somehow I will be a different person, at least by the time I'm 40 or 50. I hope that I will have discovered something. I'll have discovered a very specific niche within perhaps the economy, and perhaps I will have been able to resolve a lot of the questions that I struggle with day to day about my everyday existence in a way that provides me some measure of comfort and reassurance that I do have a place here, that it's not all doom and gloom, and that I do have a sense of purpose. But will I find it? Will I not? I don't know. But anyway, part of that is why I made the decision to start this vlogging channel. I started it last year, I think in late October of last year. So it's been a year since I started making this channel. If any of you guys have any questions you want to hit me up with, feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I can respond. Either I can leave a comment, or I might, if I feel like it, I might make an actual video response, depending on what the mood is. Anyway, I got to wrap this video up fairly soon because I just started work as a care worker. I'm a mobile care worker, so I'm going to be driving around other people's houses and giving doing care work. And I'm about to start my first ever call in 5 minutes. So I'll see you guys later. This has been Tracking. Take care.